Russian overnight strikes pounded Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, killing one person and injuring at least 6, local media reported on Monday. The large-scale drone and missile attack caused several fires to break out across the city, including in residential buildings, a children's daycare, outdoor kiosks, and a subway station. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said a total of 7 districts were affected. The strikes come after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky proposed a new round of peace talks to be held this week with Russia. Moscow continues to intensify its long-range attacks on Ukrainian cities, and analysts say the barrages are likely to escalate. Meanwhile, Ukraine appears to have intensified drone attacks towards Moscow in response. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said air defenses shot down Ukrainian drones over the Russian capital for a 5th straight night. In the Russian village of Kamenolomny, a fire broke out at a train station as a result of a Ukrainian drone strike, according to the local mayor.
Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev said that his country is planning to file international lawsuits against Russia. They are doing so with regards to the Azerbaijan Airlines flight that crashed in December last year. The plane was flying from Baku to Grozny when it crashed near the Kazakh city of Aktau, killing 38 people. An initial report revealed that a Russian missile caused the plane to crash. Speaking to local media, Aliyev said that despite it being, quote, clear as day that Russia shot down the plane, whether they intended to or not, Azerbaijan did not receive a meaningful response from Moscow. The president added that Azerbaijan's demands are a guilty plea from Russia, prosecution of those responsible, as well as financial compensation.
Gaza suffered its deadliest day for aid seekers in more than 21 months of war on Sunday, with at least 85 Palestinians killed while trying to reach food, according to local health officials. The highest death toll was reported in northern Gaza, where the situation is especially desperate. Dozens were reportedly killed trying to reach aid entering through a crossing with Israel.
اللي يمكن 15 يوم ما كله طحين وش نسوي نروح على الموت عشان ندبر كيلو على الطحين ويا ريت بزبط معنا بزبط شيء معنا ولا بنجيب شيء ولا شيء بنموت وبنروح.
رحت على الزكيم اول مره اروح عليه عشان اجيب لقمه العيش للطحين فجأنا فجأة لو صارت الدبابات تطخ والجنود تطخ والكواد كابتر تطخ والطراد يطخ تحصرنا جوا انا صوابت في اذني في ايدي والشباب استشهدوا قدامي والله هيك صبات الخير الله.
The Israeli military said soldiers shot at a gathering of thousands of Palestinians in northern Gaza who they said posed a threat. It said numbers reported by Gaza officials were higher than their initial investigation found and accused Hamas militants of creating chaos.
Syria's government on Sunday said clashes in the southern city of Sueda have stopped following a week of fighting that left hundreds of people dead. Syria's armed Bedouin clans announced they had withdrawn from Sueda, and the US brokered ceasefire deal reached by the government, Druze groups and Bedouin tribes on Saturday appeared to be holding. The ceasefire came as clashes between militias of the Druze religious minority and the Sunni Muslim clans threatened Syria's fragile post-war transition. Israel had also launched dozens of airstrikes in the Druze-majority Sueda province, targeting government forces who had effectively sided with the Bedouins. According to local officials, the violence was sparked by a series of tit-for-tat kidnappings in towns and villages in Sueda province, which later spread to the city. The UN estimates that more than 87,000 people have been displaced in Sueda since July 12 due to the heavy fighting. Iran has reached an agreement with 3 major European countries, Germany, France and the United Kingdom, to hold renewed talks on the country's nuclear program. According to local reports, an agreement was reached on the talks format. However, negotiations are still in progress regarding the precise location and dates of the talks. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Tehran's approach to negotiating its nuclear file is stronger than before. Araghchi was reported to have spoken to the EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas and his counterparts in Britain, France and Germany on Friday. The talks are expected to open the door to more extensive engagement between Tehran and the West following the recent 12-day war with Israel that saw massive attacks by both Israel and the US on key Iranian nuclear facilities.
Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis has announced the creation of 2 new marine parks in the Ionian and South Aegean Sea. The Greek government said the aim of the marine parks is to protect and manage ecosystems and species, while also reintroducing human activities compatible with environmental protection.
These parks will be among the largest marine protected areas in the entire Mediterranean. They will allow us to meet the target of protecting 30% of our territorial waters by 2030, way ahead of schedule. And perhaps, most importantly, inside these marine zones, the hugely damaging practice of bottom trawling will be banned. Working with local communities, local fishermen, scientists, but also global partners, we will make these parks examples of what is possible. By doing this, Greece can be a voice for the sea, in Europe, but also beyond. Because when we protect our ocean, we protect our own future.
The 2 parks include and integrate scattered protected areas that are in the European Natura 2000 network or in the process of being included.
Where can you go to escape the heat? Climate refuges are becoming more of a solution. With a wave of intense heat gripping European cities, climate refuges are places that can offer the population some coolness and relief. Public parks and gardens, libraries, museums and schools are among places that are open during the day to receive people who are vulnerable to extreme temperatures.
O efeito de ilha de calor é intensificado nestas ondas de calor e acontece normalmente em cidades. Isto porque nós temos cidades que estão densamente construídas, temos muito alcatrão que faz absorver o sol e ao final do dia nós vemos que às 6, 7 da tarde ainda é possível estar muito calor, apesar de já não estar muito sol, porque o chão absorveu. Depois temos vários edifícios e muitas vezes ruas estreitas, o que faz que seja difícil o ar circular.
The city of Barcelona has served as a model for the rest of Europe, not because it was a pioneer, but what really makes the Catalan city a great example is the clear criteria for defining what a refuge is, according to this researcher.
Não é qualquer espaço que é automaticamente um refúgio climático. E eu acho muito importante que esses espaços realmente para que eles respondam às necessidades dessas populações que são mais vulneráveis a temperaturas extremas, eles precisam realmente ter esses critérios mínimos, né? Que, como eu falei, precisam ter um espaço mínimo onde as pessoas possam sentar, possam beber água, possam utilizar o banheiro.
In Lisbon, where thermal discomfort in homes is a reality, the city council has not yet promoted the use of a cooling network, but data scientist Manuel Banzer has created an interactive map where you can consult spaces like fountain, lakes and municipal swimming pools.
Há uma grande amplitude térmica nas casas e Lisboa é das piores cidades da Europa em termos de eficiência energética, o que significa que tanto no verão como no inverno as pessoas têm dificuldade a aquecer a sua casa ou a arrefecer a sua casa. E por isso há aqui uma responsabilidade municipal e pública de nós transformarmos o espaço público num espaço que seja uma extensão das nossas casas.
Além do desconforto, o calor também surge associado ao aumento da mortalidade. Portugal registrou 284 mortes em excesso entre 28 de junho e 3 de julho, durante o alerta de tempo quente. Joana Marão Carvalho, para a Euronews, em Lisboa.
At least 17 people were killed and 11 others are missing after torrential rains triggered flash floods in South Korea. Thousands of people were evacuated from danger zones after heavy rain slammed the Korean peninsula for 5 consecutive days. The fast-moving water caused major damage to critical infrastructure, as well as to vehicles and properties in the southern town of Sancheong. Southern regions received between 61 and 79 centimeters of rain since Wednesday, swelling water bodies leading to the disaster.
Indonesian rescuers said on Monday that 3 people died and more than 560 were evacuated from a ferry that caught fire at sea a day earlier. Authorities previously said 5 people had died, but the National Search and Rescue Agency revised it to 3 after 2 passengers initially reported as dead were saved in a hospital, including a 2-month-old baby whose lungs were filled with seawater. A Coast Guard vessel, 6 rescue ships, and several inflatable boats were deployed in the rescue operation. Many survivors were pulled from the sea and taken to nearby islands. Local fishermen also rescued passengers found drifting in life jackets. Officials said the fire that began in the ferry's stern was extinguished within an hour. Being an island archipelago, ferries are a common mode of transport in Indonesia. Disasters occur regularly, with weak safety enforcement often blamed.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is vowing to stay on despite a major defeat in a crucial parliamentary election. His coalition lost ground in the upper house of Japanese parliament, falling 3 seats short of a majority. Ishiba says he takes the results seriously, but warns Japan can't afford a political vacuum. He says his priority is to tackle impending challenges, including an August the 1st deadline for a tariff deal with the US.